In case of those who, in case those who came to watch the replay, there's the exit for Springfield, Ohio, right there. Okay. And no, there aren't a bunch of Haitians that live here, and no, people are not eating dogs and cats. That was probably one of the biggest lies perpetrated on the American people. And just let all my foreign friends know. No, that was a big lie. I come through all the time. I don't live too far from here. But you're welcome to believe whatever you want to believe. It's actually become a big joke, actually, here. Thank God. And just let those know that Wrong Turn is also a horror movie. Actually, it was a series of them, too. They weren't all that bad. They were pretty cool. But yeah, it's Friday the 13th. I made a wrong turn, and it cost me about an hour to get back on this highway, thanks to construction and blocking off all the roads. Hey, who's that over there? That asshole comedian pissed us off. Come on in. My daddy was married to a sister, but didn't affect me. Let me show you around the plant. Here's also another exit to Springfield, Ohio. Springfield is mostly known for its good old boy country hick types. Some of us used to call it Little Kentucky. Y'all come back now, here. Oh, hi, CJ. It's good to see you. That makes me feel pretty good and not forgotten. I can go in here and to use the restroom and get me a cup of coffee that doesn't taste like it was filtered through a jock strap. But that's if the fuel island isn't full of a bunch of drivers not moving. Let's see what they got to eat here. I don't know. You think they got cats on the roller, the dog roller? I know they got hot dogs. Hey, they removed that post somebody crashed into a long time ago. Yeah, the fuel island's totally flooded. Typical. I'm going to go in there and have Hey, do we got any dogs and cats on the roller? Oh man, I'm telling you, man, the guys at the truck stop probably wore that out already, and the people in Springfield are getting sick of probably hearing it already. And it's only been what 2 or 3 days. And the way he was saying that during the debate, it's like that's going to solve all your problems. Just believe this story I'm telling you. These people eating cats and dogs, they're eating your pets. Well, maybe in Korea, but not here. Oh Jesus Christ, dude. Um, Wish I had somebody up on the panel to entertain everybody while I'm stepping out for a minute. You just enjoy the view of the ass end of this Carter Express trailer, and I'll be back in a minute. All right. Excuse me. I'll be right back if these people don't kill me. I gotta go see if they got any dogs and cats on the hot dog roller. I'll be right back. Ah, shit. Okay, hello. I got out of there with my life still intact. Although the restroom was a hazard. Went in there just to lean against the wall and then wash my hands. But man, if somebody lit a match, it'd blow the building up. I'd like to welcome Mate Grace, Steve, and Capatina Venusi. I'm not know how to pronounce that. I'm giving it a shot though. Uh, no, I'm not going to wear a hockey mask. Yeah, it is Friday the 13th, but I call it wrong turn because that's what happened to me. I made a wrong turn and had to spend an hour trying to get around back onto the interstate thanks to a construction. But also, Wrong Turn is a good horror movie if you want to watch it. It's about a bunch of backwards country hicks from West Virginia. I just noticed that nobody was doing a live stream, so I figured, hell, what the hell, I'll do one. Find somebody to talk to. Oh. Now I got to wait for this guy in front of me to finally leave. Hey, there's no cats on the dog roller. That was good. That was perfect. Uh, that's why everybody that lives within the area of Springfield or knows people that lives here, they were calling each other up, and we're all thinking, did he actually freaking say that? It's like, I'm like, he's obviously never spent time here. And who gave him that idea is what I'd like to know. They're eating our pets. Now, back in the 80s, that was sort of true. But that also was a rumor, also. But I've never heard any confirmation of that. That people that own Chinese restaurants, and yes, they're Asian, that they were catching stray dogs and cats and cooking them for the restaurant. You know, I'm like, that was a rumor. That was never confirmed. But boy, it massively spread. And that was before the internet existed. And I'm like, look, I said, you guys are talking about something that is in the Korean culture. I don't think it's in the Chinese culture because the Chinese and the Japanese, I don't know which, created Hello Kitty and they love cats. So it doesn't make sense. Hey, Mama, we gonna be eating Hello Kitty tonight, or Old Yeller. Oh my God. Well, like one of my favorite artists, Ted Nugent, would say, "Dead animals on the grill." He was an avid hunter. That's why I'm in shape, baby. Backstraps, baby, backstraps. Well, not only backstrap is good on a deer, but the loins is really good too. You run into a deer hunter and they give you some of the meat, they're not going to give you none of the loins or the backstrap because that's the best. Yep. I was told the same thing the first time I went down on a chick when I was engaged in oral sex on a girl. I was told that many times. And I like it doesn't taste like chicken. The girl takes care of herself. I mean, it really did taste like anything. Well, the military is on maneuvers this weekend. They're probably going to fuel up the flatbeds there at the Loves, go back to the uh, the base and load up whatever it is they're going to be putting on those flatbeds. And I just lost everybody in the room. Hey, I was being funny. You got to have a sense of humor. Because God knows, I tried being serious once. I mean, I really did. I really tried. And I got burnt. So I'm not going to act so serious anymore. I'm just going to go with humor. But believe me, there is a lot of humor because of what was said during that debate about the dogs and cats. And then I try to educate people. I'm like, look, folks, even during our revolution, the guys were eating anything dogs, cats, it didn't matter. If you're hungry enough and you're starving, you'll eat just about anything. But you don't know that because you have probably may not have been put in that situation before. Like those who have seen the movie Patriot with Mel Gibson. That explained it right there. I can't remember the character's name, but he said, I say we shoot the dogs, or we eat the dogs, uh, and use the paper for musket wadding. It was really funny. We take the horses, eat the dogs, and use the paper for musket wadding. Uh, yep, that's the way it is on YT. People come and go if they come at all. I think I had like maybe 3 or 4 people here, and the majority of them just briefly stayed because I've got nothing else to do. I'm debating whether I should stop at the truck stop and go ahead and deliver this load tomorrow because I can deliver anytime I get there. But I can go to my son's football game tonight. But it's going to be a slaughter. They're playing Mississinawa, the Blackhawks. And that team usually, for the past 8 years, have lost to us miserably. We figured we always put our best foot forward and always have the best people to lead us. But this is where we come to, folks. We could not find anybody better than former President Assgas. They couldn't find anybody better than that. Well, at least he's honest. It still doesn't make it right. And he's not honest. But he's as about entertaining as watching WWE wrestling because that's where he got all of his ideas anyway. And it works. Now, I'm the only one that recognized this, and I got booted off a live stream just for mentioning it. All I said was this: Kamala and Kamala. It's spelled the same way. Okay? There's the lady that's running for president, and there's a former WWE Hall of Fame wrestler named the Ugandan headhunter Kamala. Spelled the same way. Now, mind you, his real name, the wrestler, that wasn't his first gimmick as a wrestler. His first gimmick was Sugar Bear because he was from Mississippi. And his real name is James Harris. And I'm like, there is too much intertwined with those two. And I don't consider it a coincidence. In real life, they both share the same last name. But and yet they both share the same name. One is a wrestler and her first name. So I'm going to put this to the test. When I go to vote in November, and you go in the booth and you close the curtain, as I'm voting, you're going to hear this because it's pretty quiet in there. You're going to hear this. Ah! When Kamala came out to wrestle from the back room, that was his music that you were hearing when he was walking to the ring. And his manager was called Kimchi, some masked wrestler, and come to find out it was the Brooklyn Brawler, but it was also played by some other guys too. He had the mask on, and then he wore that that hat that hunters wear when they go on safari. But I will have to admit this: I would really like to finally see our first female president. That would show the world that our country is finally making those painstakingly steps to move forward to get to that next step of our evolution, that we could do better than what we have been doing. Because when you look at, other, if they exist, other species from other planets that can make it here, that have the technology and the knowledge, we're still in the caves to these people. And me, I left the cave. My ancestry left the cave long ago, and they left the teepee. or the wigwam, whatever you want to call it. They left it long ago to get to the next stage of evolution. Because, to tell you honest, folks, there's some people in the South that still have outhouses, and plumbing was invented 150 years ago. But there's some people in the South down there and them backwoods and them mountains up there. We still got an outhouse. Make sure you put some bleach down in that hole. Go use an outhouse in the middle of the winter time when you're sitting sitting in it. It's like a makeshift toilet inside of an outhouse, and that cold air breeze comes up through the hole. Oh yeah, that'll light you up. So I was forced into having to use one once, staying at a friend's house, and I'm like, I am never going to stay here again. That cold wind hit you in the behind like that? No. Kamala's not retarded. She's just disliked because she's a female, and her race does not help. And she's also hated because she has the word Democrat in front of her name. That's the only reason why she's hated. But both parties running is not what caused this mess in our country in the first place. It's just a symptom of what's been going on for the past 45 years. Because if you want somebody to blame, it's been everybody in public office since 1980. And I can go beyond that a little bit since 1963, because technically we've been living under a coup government since then. Well, one thing that I will not say is one's better than the other. No, they're all trash. I don't like any of them, because it doesn't matter who wins. It's either going to stay the same and possibly get a little bit worse, or get a whole lot worse at a rapid rate. It's not going. Not one of them is going to make it any better for us. Not at all. We can run from it. We can put our hands over our eyes and pretend the scary thing is not there. But it only takes a little more maturity to realize you can put your hands over your eyes, but the scary thing is still there. And I lost all my viewers. It's probably because there's somebody else doing a live stream now. And save on my time and just go ahead and run on an hour and end it after that. By then, I'll be at the Petro to decide if I'm going to go to my son's football game or to continue on and deliver this load later on today. Because I got another 42 hours to deliver this load. Lieutenant Dan, I got ice cream. Lieutenant Dan, ice cream. Ah, oh, that's a good idea. Let's have some fun. I haven't used this new toy in a while. I used it once the day I got it. I got a new megaphone. That's right. Whoa. I could yell at the people out the window. Even comes with a siren. Here, give me a second. Come on, Swift. You're not going to go any faster than that to get around me? Because I'd like to get out from behind these sheep right here. Oh, maybe y'all can see the link at the bottom. Maybe I can drop it again. I don't know. Let's see what I can do here. Aha! It's still there. Just sit back and enjoy the ride. You never know. I might crash into somebody. I might hit that tree over there. Not pay attention and rear end the Swift trailer. I don't know. There might be some kind of excitement that might happen out here. Like that. Maybe I should have just stayed in my lane because he's just going just as slow as they are. There we go. The beeping stops. Hey, Swift, what are you doing? Oh, ladies and gentlemen, if you please. Oh. Those who go into bed early and those who are waking up right about now are going to work. Come on, time to go to work. There's the alarm clock. Doot, 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 doot. Oh, I'm going to try to show you all that. Everybody thought I was joking. Well, it was a joke, yes, but it's true. There's a mental institution I'm going to come up across. I'm going to try to show it to y'all. I wonder, I don't think they let them out this early. Some of the patients will be outside out on the lawn. And you can identify them because a lot of them, they're not wearing regular clothes. They're wearing like these white robes. And it's the same thing. One of them's got this big net trying to catch butterflies, I guess, but he just swings it around. There's this other one that just sits there in front of a TV outside, like he's wanting to see the World Series. And there's just a few of them just wandering around. One stares at this tree right in front of him, like he's trying to contemplate if he wants to take a whiz on the tree or not. But there's this one that stands out by the gate. Now he's got the right idea. I don't know if he's trying to escape or get out, but there's no way he can get out. But he has that look on his face, and he looks right at me like he's laughing, like you'll be here soon. And that would be believable to the people that have gotten to know me. Yeah, so I send him to the mental institution, put him up on 1,000 cc's of Thorazine, and then that'll help him. But mind you, it's this world that is driving me crazy, not myself. And later on, if anybody watches the replay, they're going to be like, what the hell is he talking about? I'm just talking, folks, that's all. Uh, there it is. Getting ever so closer to home. Hey, the guys from the county jail were out here collecting trash because the bags are still sitting on the ground. Yeah, they collect the trash, they set the bags on the ground, and then somebody, I guess from DOT, comes out. You know, the guys that drive the snowplows in the wintertime, they'll come by with a hook and they'll grab the bags and put them in the back of a dump truck, and then they haul it off to the city dump. They collect all the trash that everybody chucks out the window. Forget about throwing it in the trash can. That's totally un-American. Don't wait till we get to the truck stop or the gas station to put it in the trash can. Just chuck this shit out the window. And now, over here to my right, there's an outdoor venue where they hold concerts. Been a lot of great concerts there. Still have yet to go to one. I did buy tickets to one to see Jethro Tull for my brother-in-law and my sister, but they didn't go. That was sad. Like, man, you're a big Jethro Tull fan. You didn't go. I had to work, man. I couldn't go because I couldn't get home. Where the hell did it go? Oh, that building they built back there blocked it out from you guys seeing it. It's called the Rose Center. It's right back there. Dang it. And that's a new warehouse right there, too. These other warehouses are really old. They've been there for about probably 50 years. Huber Heights, Ohio. Locals call it Hooter Heights. Now, if anybody that probably watched the replay, I don't know, but if they're here, they can hear it. But anyway, about 3 years ago, no, 4 or 5, no, this was about 7 years ago. There's a Baymont Inn right off the exit right here. I stayed there for like 2 weeks, and I had my kids with me, and we went to the swimming pool. It's an indoor swimming pool. And sometimes I make mistakes just like everybody else. Like, hey, Dad, do a cannonball. I did, but I forgot that the ceiling is very short. My head just barely, maybe a few inches, and then there's the ceiling. Well, when I did the cannonball in the pool, bleesh, the water comes up and it knocked a bunch of tiles off the ceiling. So me and my son were collecting the tiles out of the pool. We got the net out to get all the other pieces out, and I'm like, "Ma'am, I didn't realize that." What didn't think when I did the cannonball, I would have knocked these tiles off the ceiling. He goes, "Oh, that's all right. We've been trying to get rid of that ceiling anyway." I'm like, "Oh, okay." And he was like, "Actually, you did partial favor." I'm like, "Well, why don't you give me the room for free?" I didn't say that, but I was thinking it. Oh my god, I don't have to pay for damages in a ceiling that they're going to end up ripping out anyway. And then when I went back there last year, yes, the ceiling was completely gone, and they redecorated it. So if you do a cannonball, you're perfectly fine. Oh, that's what we're calling it now, Freedom Veterans Crossroads. This used to be right here. It was called the Crossroads of America. It's where Interstate 70 and Interstate 75 intersect. Now, you can't quite see it yet, but there's an overpass in front of me. Not that one, the next one. I'll wait till I get closer to it. Not this overpass, but the next one you see that I'm coming up to, there have been a lot of beer trucks slamming into the side of the Jersey wall that keeps you from falling off the bridge. But the truck typically rolls over and dumped all the beer all over the grassy area and a lot of the highway here. This bridge right here. You see a lot of people coming out here willing to help to pick up all the beer that hadn't exploded everywhere. Beer cans and bottles. And some of the kegs survived too. But a lot of it did explode when it hit the ground or the pavement. But a lot of it didn't. Because they're taking the curve too fast is what it is. The load shifts to one side and boom, you're going over. But if you Google that 75 and 70, Interstate 75, Interstate 70, you see a lot of accidents there. And if I was up on the bridge, you'd see a lot of scars and rubber marks on the Jersey wall from it. Come on, man. This ice cream really bogs you down going uphill. There we go. Dayton International Airport. Flew out of there many times going to Florida. Going to Florida or Atlanta. Yeah, we're going to land that plane within the Watermelon 500. Go right on over the interstate. Boom. It's actually not in Dayton, but they call it that. It's actually Vandalia. Vandalia is a northern suburb of Dayton, Ohio. Dayton, Ohio is over to my left about 15 miles. Transland. All right, I got to get over to the right-hand lane because that left lane is going to close off, and I'm in the hammer lane. There we go. And I get down here, go down the hill, and when I make it to the bottom of the hill, that's called Inglewood. And yes, you better be rich to live in that neighborhood. I think the cheapest house in that area is a $500,000. So, hi, we live in Inglewood. Well, good for you. Until the economy catches up with them and the market crashes and they just went flat busted and their husband jumps out of an 80-story window in downtown New York. Uh, Welcome to the poorhouse. Come on in, the water's fine. Now, in certain places of the country, like out in LA, you mentioned Inglewood, people are like, ooh, that's South Central. That's right next to Compton. Yeah, I've been there many a time. Doesn't bother me. I said, you want some real entertainment? Go to Detroit. Man, in Detroit, they don't play around. You stop at a stoplight and ask for directions. Within that minute, that guy's giving you directions. You'll find your car on cinder blocks and unable to move, and you didn't know it. They done stripped the tires off your car with the rim and whatever other parts they can get while you're still sitting there. And then when you call for help, people approach you and try to sell you what they just stole off your vehicle. Say, I went into Detroit. Oh, I pity you. But believe it or not, at one time, when I was a kid, Detroit was a great place to grow up. It was right around 1981, 82 is when it started to go downhill really fast. It was a town of 2.5 million people. Today, I think they just have just under 400,000 people that live there. You can buy houses pretty cheap there. A couple $100, you can buy this big 2-story house with a full basement and everything, but it needs a lot of work. And a lot of the walls have been knocked out or knocked down. You'll find crack pipes and needles everywhere, and all the copper piping had been stripped out. But you own the land that house was on. You just level the house, get rid of it, and then you got a clear sheet of land that you can work with. It's not the place I would want to raise a family. Um, I really am proud to say that where my kids grew up, have been growing up, is perfectly fine. It's a small town of about 2,000 people surrounded by cornfields. And they go to school with a lot of farmers. I say, hey, Dad, I'm going to go with Case and we're going to, work on the farm a bit. I'm like, good. Don't be screwing around either. Teach my son a hard day's work. Exactly. Well, I was going to give Sean $20. I said, no, 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 don't you pay him nothing. I take care. I'll take care of Junior. I said your lessons and whatever you taught him was payment enough for me and him. What it is it teaches my son some things. Because you never know. My son might be a future farmer of America. I don't know. He's thinking about joining FFA. I said, "Did you milk the cows, son?" He goes, "Oh, they don't have dairy cows, Dad." I'm like, "Oh, okay. Well, then what did you do?" We walked the beans, cut down the buttonweed, and detasseled the field of corn. And they spent half the day doing all that. I said, "That's the way to go." If I had a farm, I'd be like, "Yeah, we could bring the football players in. Have a barbecue for them, let them do all that work for me. That would really help." I did get to slop the pigs. I said, "Son, I've done it before too, and that was pretty gross." He goes, "Yeah, it was." He goes, "They were like big dogs." I said, "Yeah, sort of." I said, "You want to impress me, son? Make it where one of the big sows can bark at strangers. Now that's impressive." And he said, "Dad, the most funniest animal I ever encountered there was the chickens." I said, "Yeah, they can be funny." He goes, "It was quiet, but as soon as we stepped in there, they made all kinds of noises." "What were you doing?" "Oh, we were stealing the eggs." Ugh. At those that hear the sound of my voice, thank you for coming in and enjoying my whatever you want to call it. It's just a drive through the Midwest. I was shut down at northern Columbus, Ohio. Made it to Interstate 70. I'm cutting across. Get into Effingham, Illinois. Go down 57. Take 57 into Sikeston, Missouri. It's the southeastern corner of Missouri. And head straight down into Arkansas. And then I'll be getting into Deep South down there. Like I said, it's Mid-South wrestling territory when the territories existed. That was one of my favorite territories because I'll tell you what, if you don't know who Jim Cornette is and you watch wrestling, you missed the gem. Jim Cornette was this rich, or he looked like a rich person's kid with glasses, dressed really nice in a suit, whatever, and always carried around a tennis racket. Let me tell you something about that man. He knew how to make a lot of money with so little work. But here's the deal. He stuck his neck out, or balls, if you want to call it, big time for that outfit. He did. He was in WWE briefly, but he couldn't get it along with Vince Russo, and that was real because he was probably one of the best shooters in the entire business ever. Because he was a manager. He did wrestle every now and then when they made him do stupid stuff with the managers, but he was the manager of the Rock and Roll Express, a tag team. And they were heels, but they were loved. But everybody hated Jim Cornette. The thing is about Jim Cornette is the people in the ring want to kick his ass, but the entire crowd that's there want to kill him. and he has his own show on YT called The Drive Through. But at almost every place they went to, he had, almost had caused a riot, and a few times he did. And you're talking a few thousand people at an event that are rioting because of him. But I gotta say, hand it to him. He did his job well. Oh, how you doing, Precious? Haven't seen you in a while. Me, I'm just talking a bunch of off the wall things and acting like, well, shoot, I forgot to point that out to you guys. I already passed it. Every time I pass the mental institution, that's where everybody wants me to go or find myself into. We're going to put him in a straitjacket. Oh, I'm always busy, Precious. I'm always working. I've known you, what, 3 years now? Although I haven't really been in much of your live streams as of late because I'm either asleep or not on the truck and dealing with shippers and receivers. But I stop in when I can. But, you know, I'm always doing what I've always been doing since I met everybody here. And this is what happens when somebody doesn't really have a social life, too. Hell yeah, it is blue, but they got the real high stratosphere clouds up there. What clouds you can see? They're like way up there. What life? I don't have a life. I just work, or I work, yes, but I just exist. My only social life consists of whoever it is on YT. Well, it looks like there's no traffic, but there is. If you look here on the other side, you can see the traffic going the other way. And I don't know why, but there's a truck right in front of me that makes it look like it's almost a half a mile away, but he's only like maybe 100 yards in front of me, not very far at all. Here comes a truck going to pass me. It's just the way my camera is, it makes everything look like it's further away than what it really is. But like I said, I don't think I'm crazy. I'd like to think I'm not crazy, but if I am crazy, it's not because of my own doing, it's because of the world I live in. The world is making me crazy. So I should be pitied because I'm a victim of circumstance. And just let everybody know this is the state of Ohio. Um, in 20 miles, I'll be at the Indiana border. But I'll be getting off there at the border. And how this works is if you get off the exit and make a left, you go under the bridge that you were just on. That's in Richmond, Indiana. Or you get off the exit and make a right, that's New Paris, Ohio. I got to stop in there. Oh, wait a minute. Larry may not be there today. I got to get that bolt so, so I can put my CB antenna back on my door with my truck. The big massive bolt broke, and I got my antenna in my utility drawer up under my bunk. That's why I haven't been able to run my CB radio. Oh, wait a minute, precious life. No, you have a good life. I mean, I think you have one daughter. I'm thinking. I mean, you have one daughter. I mean, you live a good life. You work. You provide for yourself and your family. You do a great job. It's just you have no one to share it with. Somebody special, just like me. Because I guess you have to be really special in the brain in order to want to be with a guy like me. You have to be crazy in yourself. He goes, "Have you listened to this guy? He's crazy." I mean, you are single, or are you married? I thought you were single. Yeah, see, that's why I mean, I enjoy what I do, but it's boring because I don't have anybody to share it with. Like, hey, look at that. There's the Rocky Mountains. I got someone to say and show it to. It's like, hey, look at that. But when you're alone, it's like, oh, there they are. Big deal. Oh yeah, no, it's very entertaining. And but at times when you're with somebody for a while, they think you really are crazy, and then they run away from you. Like my ex. I mean, I remember one time when we were married, she goes, "Sean, take me somewhere I haven't been before. On vacation. When I was getting my vacation time, take me somewhere I've never been before." I took her to the men's room. It's like you've never been here before, right? Unless you accidentally walked in. But I can try to read your messages. Well, if you got somebody, he should have came and saw you at least once. All I know is if I had somebody, I'm on the plane. One of my best friends on YT is Darren Dobson. I was supposed to go with him a couple of times, but I was unable to go. I'm really going to try to do it in January. I don't know. Well, I got him on the freaking plane. If anything, I really would like to go to Osaka, Japan again. I really enjoyed Osaka. Well, I got over 2 million safe driving miles career wide. That means I drove to the moon and back 4 times. That's a long way. Oh, believe me, life is never boring around me. Lonely, yes, but boring, never. I remember I used to go over to my friend's house as a kid. His name was Brett. I'd go over to his house and knock on the door, and his dad would always say the same thing when his dad was home. He was like, he goes, "What do you, boy, what you want?" He goes, "Where's Brett?" He goes, "He's inside." "Boy, you always got some shit going on." He'd always say that to me. And I look back at it, and it was true. I always had something going on, good or bad. Most of the time, a lot of things just happen around me that make no sense. Um, well, I have four. I don't have them. If I was home on a regular basis, yeah, I probably would because they would want to live with me. But no, I really don't have them. I see them whenever I can. I'm thinking about parking it early and not delivering this load early and just park at the truck stop here and go to my son's football game tonight. But it's going to be a slaughter. They're gonna kill this team. Like that last time I played him, I said, "Son, ease up on him a little bit." He goes, "I am." He goes, "Dad, I just stood there last time and went through these kids." I'm like, Jesus. Yes, they stay with mom, and it's like 2 blocks from my house. And whenever my uncle is, well, not my uncle, my brother is over at my house, my son goes over there and sees what he's doing. But a lot of times, when my son wants to get away, he'll just go to my house and jump on the computer or watch TV. Because their school is only like 3 blocks from their house, and it's a tight knit community. Everybody knows each other. My oldest is going to be 20 next month. She's 19, going to Wright State, and she currently works at the best and biggest amusement park in the world called Kings Island. The reason why it's the biggest is because it is, and it's got 16 roller coasters. It would take you all day to take you to ride all the rides there. And she loves it down there, and they're going to promote her next year as a manager or supervisor. And I'm like, wow, yeah, go ahead, stay with that if you want to do that as a career. You can get into be an executive there. She loves it, and I'm not going to stop her from doing what she loves. I thought she was wanting to get into the medical field, which she still can. My oldest is 19, going to be 20. My son is 16. He's still in high school. And my second daughter, my third one, Kaylee, she is in 7th grade. I think she's like 12, and my youngest is 7. Cheyenne Louise. Right now, she's probably at work. She is in the medical field. You bring them freaking gloves on. All right, bend over. I'm like, yeah, up yours. I'm not doing it. Yes. And put it in another way. The last time I fooled around, I created my youngest daughter, and that was 7 years ago. That's how I know. Yeah, it sounds like a joke, but it's true. That's how I remember it so well. The last time I fooled around, I created my youngest daughter. Yes. Contrary what everybody else believes, well, not everybody else, but a lot of my trolls that they leave me alone now because they know they can't win, and they act like a bunch of morons. They would run around and claim that they know all this stuff about me. I considered it all a joke until one of them contacted my kids. I think it was either one of them or two of them that contacted my kids. One of them contacted my oldest, Beth, and she's like, "Who is this guy?" And another one contacted my son, and he was like, "Dad, who is this? Who is this guy, idiot right here?" Because my kids didn't respond because they're hardly on the internet to begin with. So we took the computer to the Darke County Sheriff's Office, and they were able to get their IP address. And they said, "Well, there's not much we can do." I knew there was not much they could do. I know everybody on the Darke County Sheriff's Office. And they said, "There's not much we can do." I said, "Yeah, I know. I figured that, but at least you got evidence of their IP address." And they were from Australia, the English rednecks. Yeah, they were part of the trolls that bother me, that used to bother me all the time. But I wanted a lot of people to be aware that those Aussies contacted my kids, and that's something you just do not do. I said, "You can dox me all you want. You don't contact my kids." My son's at the point where he's begging to shoot somebody when I taught him how to shoot a firearm and I taught him everything about it. And he doesn't mess with it. It's in my lockbox, but well, the sheriff's office were able because they got computer experts and they ever managed to get their IP address. They know who they are. Now, if there's something that gets flagged by them, those individuals, then the Darke County Sheriff's Office will contact whoever it is in Australia, law enforcement, and just notify them like, "Hey, we've had issues with these two people. You might want to keep an eye on them." But what did they do? They just contacted two underage kids over through the internet by doxing their father or trying to. That's something you don't do. You don't contact other people's kids. Like when we had the costume contest last year in Murad's memory, people were bringing their kids up, and me and Darren didn't expect that. And we're like, okay. So this year, when we do it, Murad was loved by everybody, and we lost him to COVID. He was in good health, young guy, but he ended up dying of it. And he had a paranormal type YouTube channel, but he was friends with a lot of people, and everybody loved him. And he'd always have a Halloween costume contest every year. Well, this year will be the third year we've done it, and we do it on Darren Dobson's channel. I sponsor it, and I think this year we're doing it on the 28th of October. You might have to go to Darren Dobson's channel, and if you want to, Precious, you can compete. There are two or three categories, but there are two separate sets of prizes. We're going to have two first place winners, two second place winners, and two third place winners. There's going to be a sexy category, and then there's going to be scary and miscellaneous. He died of COVID because I remember he was talking to Darren and Alona Tompus, and everybody was telling him he got COVID, and within 2 days he was gone. And it was a shock to everyone. I was floored. I'm like, "Are you guys serious?" Yeah, he died within 2 days. It killed him. That was sad. So me and Darren, because he was so loved, and we just carry on his memory by doing the costume contest every year in his memory. No thanks. I don't understand that. Like last year, we had people dressed up like a sexy nurse, and then a few others were dressed like superheroes, were really scary or whatever. But all the kids, we're gonna have the kids go first. But all the kids, there's not going to be a winner. They are all winners. We're gonna give all the kids some Gcash, enough to get some ice cream or something. Oh, so you knew Murad too, Precious? I didn't know you knew him. Yeah, I don't know everybody that he knew. Small world. Oh, I see what you're trying to say. Yeah, that was 3 years ago when that happened. Murad was famous for saying "awesome sauceum," and I think it was like a week before he passed. I went through Vegas, and I remember it well. I was in Adrian Gibson's live stream. He's from Perth, Australia. And I lost signal going through the city, which made no sense. So I recorded it, and I didn't have time to meet Murad because I had to hurry up and get to LA to deliver that load. But I was right there. He lived in Henderson, which is the southern suburb of Las Vegas. And believe me, I wanted to stay in Vegas because there's two clubs that have karaoke up on stage, and you perform in front of everybody. And mostly the people that go there are Asian descent, whether it be they're Japanese, Korean, few Filipina community there, but the majority of the patrons in the place are Asian. And the funniest thing in the world, I felt like I was back in the Philippines. I'm sitting there and I'm singing it, and I'm like, my God, all these beautiful eyes up here looking at me. I don't know if all of them could understand me, but yeah, they always remember me when I go in there, and I'll never forget it. The barkeeps, they always, they already know what I drink, and I'm like, I haven't been here in a while. He goes, we remember you. Oh, okay. Because I drink Diet Dr Pepper. And they're like, you sing for us now? I'm like, oh, I guess so. Yeah, sure. Even though I would like to, but I cannot stay here because I'm still 500 miles away. Yeah, I want to go and see. I'm going to go and see if Larry is here so I can fix my CB antenna. Look at that! I can just pull straight up by the door. Oh, but Precious, you have more than just one daughter, and she looks like she's either in her late teens, early 20s. I think I seen her in some of your videos. Oh, the Owida truck is here. Owner Operator Independent Drivers Association. I'm a lifetime member already. Well, guys, even though I'd like to stay longer, I gotta go. What time is it? Yeah, I got a minute here. I guess Precious must have left. Well, anyway, you guys take it easy. I appreciate you coming and having a conversation with me, and enjoying the controlled chaos. What? Your daughter's 30? Are you kidding me? She's 30 years old? I would have never guessed that old, Precious. I thought she was like in her late teens, early 20s. Well, that proves my point when it comes to Filipina. They're 20 years older than what they look. But hey, I appreciate it. Thanks, Precious. Y'all have a good day. I'll talk to y'all later. Hopefully, I can see you on your live stream soon, Precious. I'll see y'all later. Bye bye.